The news day begins here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. A massive fire hit Starmall in Alabang today. According to reports, the fire started at around 3 in the morning, and the Bureau of Fire Protection raised the first alarm at 3:40 a.m. and the third alarm was raised at 4:39 or 4:49 a.m. Authorities raised the fire alarm level to Task Force Alpha at around 7:46. Reports from the ground say the fire is still ongoing. Now, the health department has revised its quarantine policy in a bid to ease the pressure on the healthcare system as COVID-19 cases rise. Maricel Halili has the report.
The Philippines starts the year with staggering COVID cases. The worst part, it hasn't even peaked yet.
Omicron will become the dominant variant here in the capital. It will be very scary for the next few weeks. It's really important to be vaccinated and to be boosted.
According to the Octa Research Group, Metro Manila's positivity rate is now at 46%, while nationwide doubling time is at 2.2. Professor Guido David says it's high time we'll look beyond NCR.
May nakikita na rin tayong pagtaas sa mga ibang parts ng Pilipinas tulad sa Visayas at sa Mindanao. May nakikita na rin bahagyang pagtaas. So medyo concerning yan na baka umabot na rin sa ibang parte ng bansa.
Given the soaring cases, the health department has recalibrated its quarantine guidelines so as to ease pressure on the healthcare system. Fully vaccinated healthcare workers who are COVID positive but are asymptomatic or only have mild or moderate symptoms will only be isolated up to 5 days. Close contact health workers will no longer be quarantined, but this will still depend on the assessment of the hospitals and health offices. For the general population, those who are positive but asymptomatic or with mild or moderate symptoms must be isolated for 10 days. A 21-day isolation, meanwhile, is required for those experiencing severe symptoms. As for close contacts, those fully vaccinated will only need a 7-day quarantine, while those unvaccinated or partially vaccinated will undergo a 14-day quarantine. Isolation facilities will now prioritize senior citizens and those with comorbidities. Home quarantine is also encouraged for those with asymptomatic or mild to moderate symptoms.
Kung kayo po ay positive at wala po kayong sariling kwarto at banyo sa inyong bahay, kayo po ay dapat dalhin sa isang accredited isolation facility upang maiwasan pang makapanghawa sa loob ng inyong tahanan.
After this wave of cases, Octa's Father Austriaco believes the Omicron variant may be the pandemic's endgame, but some experts would like to temper that optimism.
Gusto natin na ito na yung pinakahuli, na wala nang susunod pang ibang variant. Unfortunately, hindi pa natin masasabi with certainty na ito na nga ang katapusan ng COVID. Sana totoo, sana magdilang anghel si Father. Pero siguro mas maganda pa rin maging maingat, huwag sadyaing magpahawa on the assumption na hindi na mahahawaan ulit ng iba pa.
For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos was a no-show in the preliminary conference of his disqualification cases for the 2022 elections. Greg Gregorio with the story.
The preliminary conference for 3 disqualification cases against Bongbong Marcos was delayed for an hour. The reason, Marcos was a no-show due to sickness.
Where is Senator Marcos Jr.?
He is not feeling well.
and he cannot join in today's video conference.
This infuriated Comelec First Division Presiding Commissioner Rowena Guanzon recalled that the cases separately filed by Ilagan et al., Akbayan et al., and Abubakar Mangelen were all raffled to the First Division.
Why don't you ask your client to go on Zoom? Even if it's on isolation, he can have a laptop.
His absence nearly cost him the chance to defend himself or present evidence.
Do you know the consequence under the rules? It will be submitted for decision without his
Memorandum.
without his evidence.
But Guanzon asked his camp to simply show a medical certificate instead. The division proceeded with the stipulation and admission of issues and marking of exhibits as evidence. Among the issues discussed was Marcos's 1995 conviction for tax evasion and non-filing of income tax returns from 1982 to 1985. The Court of Appeals ruling was also highlighted, but it only affirmed the conviction and non-filing of ITRs, not on tax evasion.
The admissions that he made, I think, works for us. And like I said, it's part of the records naman.
At the latter part of proceedings, Bongbong's camp presented the medical certificate from his physician stating that the former senator was exposed to at least 2 COVID-19 patients. His doctor said Marcos is now experiencing symptoms like fever, body malaise, and sore throat. The division gave the parties 48 hours to submit their respective memoranda before the division decides on the matter. Mangelen's petition, meanwhile, has been submitted for resolution due to non-appearance of the petitioner or his counsel. While Ilagan and Akbayan's cases have been consolidated, for News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
The AFP Chief of Staff and 2 senators have tested positive for COVID-19. The AFP said that General Andres Centino is now undergoing quarantine in an isolation facility in Camp Aguinaldo, where he will continue performing his job. Senators Ping Lacson and Win Gatchalian have also tested positive for the virus. Both said that they are exhibiting relatively mild symptoms. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.